sink it, cut it, try and move it off the barrel. So go up, be aggressive, attack that fastball.
0-2 on Freeman. And it's on the ground to short. He gets a lot of ground balls. Jake Cronenworth making his third start at shortstop in the last several days, and his first three starting there since 2022. Here's the breakdown of Vasquez.
Yeah, it's our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. With any of those, I mean, his top velocity on average is going to be with that four-seam fastball and the sinker right about 93 miles an hour.
0-1 on Mickey Moniak. He has not missed the strike zone yet.
That just got the barrel.
That would have missed the strike zone, but it hit the bat, so it's 0-2.
Did that hit the barrel or the knob?
The barrel.
Okay.
He started to bring it off his shoulder, and it just caught it.
Oh.
And that is foul. A little bit of a late call, but Todd Tishner threw.
Thought he needed the wall. It's the one thing about this stadium that I don't know that a lot of left fielders know. That ball starts to go towards that foul territory, but it works its way back towards fair territory just on that side of the field. Terrific play by Ramon Laureano.
2 down and a liner foul off the bat of Hunter Goodman. This is the one guy you will not let beat you, or you hope not let beat you in this Rockies lineup. A catcher with 30 home runs, 87 runs batted in, the .282 average. Got to be careful.
I mean, considering the position he's playing, the only reason why we're not talking about it, there's a couple reasons. He plays for the Rockies and we're struggling. But Kyle Riley in his big year has kind of dwarfed what what Goodman's doing.
Grounder down to third. The backhand, Machado off his glove, and reaching at first is Goodman. Very rare mistake for Manny Machado.
Yeah, you're almost in shock that it even happened. And he's so good with the glove, just not able to catch the baseball there or go down as an E5.
So 2 down, base runner first for Jordan Beck. As Goodman gets that lead, held on by O'Hearn at first base. And the strike at 94 from Vasquez.
I mean, if not for Kyle Riley, Goodman would certainly be the one we're talking about from the catching position with the kind of year he's having.
When Padres pitchers K9, you win. Score 25% off your total purchase at participating Petco locations tomorrow with your loyalty membership. Just ask to redeem the Padres K9 promotion at checkout. 15 pitches, 14 strikes so far for Vasquez. He's been in the zone. As Goodman has his lead at first. 0-2 kind of ran away on him on a sinker.
Overcooked that one. Occasionally that's what gets Vasquez into trouble, trying to throw the best pitch ever in his life and ends up hooking it. And Before you know it, he's falling behind, but still in good spot here, 1-2.
Back to center field, and that'll dunk in for a base hit. Stopping at second base is Goodman as Merrill gets to it relatively quickly. And now the Rocks have something going with 2 down in the first inning. Runners at first and second.
Good sweeper. It's off the plate, but because it's up, gives Beck a chance there. It's off the end of the bat, able to a little soft loft wedge in the center field. First and second now for Ezequiel Tovar.
Tovar, the shortstop, bats out of the 5 spot with Goodman at second. Beck at first, 2 down in the first. His 80th game individually of the year. And that's a strike called. Top of the zone. 94 on the gas from Vasquez. Center fielder Merrill over towards right center. Lots of green grass in left center. And if Tovar decides to pull in that direction. The season with 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Tovar at 190. 4 for 21, the actual breakdown. Won a Gold Glove last year defensively. Down the right field line, foul.
This location there with the sinker ended up in the middle of the plate. Tovar a little tardy, fouls it off to the right side.
20 total pitches, 17 of which have been strikes. Very much in the zone so far tonight. Randy Vasquez. 1-2, just missed a tick high. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out on the sweeper. Gets out of the jam. Rockies don't score. Padres are coming up.
Some good to pick
Yes.
up that confidence level. It's been a rough first 3.
Well, and primarily it's come against a slider this year for McCade. 7 of the 15 hits he's given up, including both home runs, have come off that slider.
Good fastball moving on the outside corner, and it's 0-1 on Fernando Tatis. 5 days ago, he had a great first inning. 3 ground outs, pretty quick, and then he ran into all kinds of issues in the second inning.
I think the thing that we're not really used to seeing, because this was nowhere in the scouting reports or anything, are the walks and the hit batters.
There's that good slider. Do you think it's a product of a young major leaguer suffering through some nerves, as one would expect?
Yeah, I think so, but I also think he's trying to guide the ball a little bit, right? Instead of just letting it rip. I feel like he's trying to make that perfect pitch that every young player tries to make when they first get here, especially when they get ahead in counts.
Here we go, 2-2. And that's in the air, foul and out of play.
Well, especially from somebody that just made the jump from Double-A to the big leagues. Because it's not just one extra deck, there's 2 extra decks.
Good curveball. And he strikes out Tatis to begin his evening.
McCade needed this. He needed, to come out against somebody like Tatis and get that first guy on a breaking pitch.
But also, you guys know they tunneled that perfectly off that slider at 87, then throwing that slower curveball.
Here's a rise. You can see immediately that's a big miss, and Hunter Goodman, to read his pantomime, he's almost like slow down, don't overdo it, stay right there in the zone. He sets up in the middle of the plate. See more and more catchers doing that.
I think you have
natural movement, not just of a McCade Brown, but any pitcher in the big leagues, as opposed to, hey, I'm going to set up on an edge.
Especially with a young pitcher.
To left, back with room. And that's why you could throw that pitch up there against a guy like Arise, because typically Luis is not going to hit it over the wall.
Time now for our forward keys to the game. We are in San Diego, so we're going to honor anchorman Ron Burgundy. Boy, that escalated quickly. We're talking about the Rockies offense. We need him to come out of the gates fast, and 34% of the time, it works every time. And what we're talking about is McCade Brown. He punched 34% of tickets in the minor leagues. Let's start seeing it at the big leagues. We got to see one already.
Here's Machado. Manny takes a strike on the outside corner. Manny did something that he rarely does, but he's been in such a funk of late. He took early BP mid-afternoon and then came out for regular BP. Trying to extract himself from what's been a difficult period offensively.
There's 134 the last 17 games.
On the ground, deep short, Tovar across his body, and well done. Got the skip, Tolia stayed with it, and it's a 1-2-3 beginning for McCade Brown, including a strikeout. Brenton Doyle leading off in the second against Vasquez, and this ball's lifted to deep left field, and it is hooking foul.
That's a guy that thought he was going to catch one when Laureano caught it.
Go sit back down. Let the professionals handle it.
Exactly. Sir clanks a lot.
It's all thumbs.
You guys are cruel. This poor guy's down the line. He's got, he's trying to catch with his bare hands.
Hey, you get one chance to be a hero, and he blew it.
1 ball, 1 strike on Doyle. Karros on deck. Brenton hitless in that San Diego series, but still hitting well over 300 in the second half. That's down the line. That's a fair ball. And the Rockies will get a double out of this as Brenton cruises into second with the leadoff two-bagger in the second.
I mean, that was a definition of right over the bag. The little two-seamer, tried to sink it in. Did get a little bit inside, but not enough. Brenton big and strong right over the bag for his 21st double.
So situational AB for Kyle Karros.
You have to plate this run. I mean, after what happened in LA, and then your first 3 games that you played in San Diego earlier, shut out all 3 games.
Yeah. Rockies have not scored in San Diego since last year. This is not going to get it done. This is on the right side. Easy play for Ryan O'Hearn. 1 out. Yanquiel Fernandez coming up. The Padres defensively. Laureano, Mero. Start as shortstop in the last 3 years. Here's the Tuesday catch
this
by
one
Fernandez.
This one's just remarkable. It just shows you the athleticism too, the timing of that jump. I mean, he was a former shortstop.
The 1 on Fernandez. Well, he's a former shortstop, and he still will take ground balls at different times before games, and if they're ever in a sudden death situation where you have to bring 5, like managers lose, 5 infielders.
It's called a shootout.
Yeah, he's the 5th infielder. He won that role in spring training. They had a competition. It was between former shortstop Fernando Tatis Jr. and former shortstop Jackson Merrill. And he, talking about El Nino, won the competition. So if they go to 5 infielders,
he's the guy.
He's the guy.
We always talk about who's the best athlete. He, I think, just about any given time he's on the field is the best athlete.
That guy's a pretty good athlete, too, now.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they might think about moving one of those 2 guys back to shortstop with Bogarts.
You have gold gloves in the outfield for both.
I know, but I'm
One's
sure
got a
they
platinum glove.
discussed it at least.
This is chopped foul. I think the reason Mike Shilton, he naturally got that question when Bogarts went down, he felt comfortable that they had coverage there, including with the veteran Cronenworth, who doesn't matter where you put Jay Cronenworth, he's going to be above average defensively, even though he hadn't played there in a long time.
I think it means that Arise is getting a lot more run at second base compared to DHing.
Yeah, they have Iglesias also. He's had a couple starts there. 3-2 on Fernandez. 1 out. Leadoff double by Doyle. Scoreless here in the second. Second strikeout for Randy Vasquez.
Oh, the first one was on a sweeper. This one looks more like the curveball, just the action on it. 82 miles an hour.
Tolia making his second start. Sully, we were talking about this in L.A. Working on much higher contact rate against the in-zone fastball, but it looks like he's hitting out of a more significant crouch.
Yeah, he's definitely got a little bit more knee bend. Looks like he's doing a little kickstand, I like to call it, with the front foot out.
There's a fastball at 94, 0-2.
I think that move just kind of already sets him in his legs, right? He doesn't need as big a load, so then it's just hitting with your hands.
And another fastball gets him, so the Rockies do not take advantage of the leadoff double by Doyle.
The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. I am restricted.
Very good first inning. Strikeout, fly out, ground out. If you look at Doyle, the second inning in his last outing against San Diego really got him. And that's a good curveball. That Yakker's in there for a strike. It's 1-1 on Gavin Sheets.
That's where you hope he learned something from that last start in the second inning. What went wrong? There you go.
Right back to the big man, and he flips to first. So Sheets is retired. And that'll bring up the former A and the former Baltimore Oriole, Ramon Laureano.
He was hitting 290 in Baltimore, and he's hitting 304 with San Diego.
Pretty steady.
Yep.
23 home runs. Way outside, ball one. This is the 54th start this year by a rookie pitcher for the Rockies, which is not a franchise record.
No, you got to go back to those, all the boys starting in 2017. Talking about Free and Markey.
But you know what's interesting about that? By far, that's the most the Rockies have ever started. That was a playoff year.
Yes.
So even all those rookies and the trio that's still around today, with Senza, Markey, and Kyle Freeland, they were able to get it done, help lead the Rockies to the first of consecutive postseasons. 3-1 on Laureano. The 54 starts by rookies is the most in baseball this year as McCade walks Laureano. Gerald Scott. Second in terms of rookie starts this year in Major League Baseball, 14 behind the Rockies, are the Milwaukee Brewers. And the Brewers, we know,
where they're
have had a gorgeous year.
They're looking to lock up a playoff berth.
I'm a little surprised that the Dodgers aren't closer, just given how their starting rotation has been decimated by injuries throughout the season.
Well, in terms of number of different starting pitchers, the Dodgers are up there. Most pen innings, the Dodgers are at the top. 2 strikes on Jackson Merrill. So important here, and he's gotten ahead of Merrill after the walk to Laureano to settle back in and not all of a sudden kind of unwind as it happened in his last outing. And he started to have big misses after a really good start.
Well, I think, Corey touched on it a moment ago, how, it seems like it speeds up. That happens to every young guy. Speeding up the game. That's what the great ones do. They slow it down.
Merrill.
Coming right at you.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you could see me from up there.
I could.
I got a little active.
I saw you.
Well, only because we got the swivel camera coming in front of me, and when he moves, I got to move with him. Because if I don't, I can't see the baseball. And both Spilly and I have been picked off once already this year.
1-2 on Jackson Merrill. And that's all for Merrill. That's the second strikeout for McCade Brown. He's spinning it well.
Well, this is a tight one. That's a really tight slider. And had enough depth to it to get Jackson out in front.
Now another left-handed bat, Ryan O'Hearn.
I think that was the key to it, Huey, was that vertical depth.
Yeah.
As hitters, we think slider, we think horizontal. And I think you could tell by Jackson's bat path, that's what he was going for.
Another fastball, and this is popped up shallow center. Doyle will get there. And McCade Brown with 1 out walked Laureano, but then he got right back in the zone, got the strike.
There you go.
Bottom of the zone, a strike on Tyler Freeman with Mickey on deck. Tyler ground ball to Jake Cronenworth at short to start off the ball game. Vasquez's 2 other starts this year against the Rockies were at Coors Field.
One back on May 9th. And of course, the other one just this past weekend on the 6th.
That's kind of interesting about Randy Vasquez, the 26-year-old. He was sent out half a dozen times last year. This is toward the hole. Manny Machado, good pickup and an accurate throw. Takes a hit away from Freeman. And he's been sent out 3 times this year. So despite being back and forth to AAA 9 times in the last 2 years, he's second in starts for the Padres.
And when you think about this season, too, he's 4-6 with a 391. And Manny Machado made up for that error that he made in the first inning with the dazzling play right there. Get in there.
What'd I tell you, Corey?
That's why I came to you with it.
I know. I'm like perfect since we started doing that.
Yep.
So a 1-out single for Moniak.
Well, Mickey saw quite a bit of breaking stuff in that Dodger series, whether it was a curveball or the slider. Saw very few fastballs.
And Tyler Glasnow, that's like all he threw.
Yes.
Hunter takes ball 1. He reached on the error by Machado that Huey was referencing a moment ago.
Yeah, I think it's probably a nice break for the Rockies to not have a guy throwing a 12-6 deuce.
Right?
Yeah, at sea level. I think they're good with that.
This is foul back and out of play. So this park plays much differently, especially for right-handed hitters, since it opened. They enlarged the scoreboard considerably in left field from the early days of Petco, and that knocked down a funnel of wind activity. And this one is grabbed by Machado for 1 on the first double play. That's a fancy 5-4-3. And Vasquez appreciates it more than anyone.
Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I feel fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume.
jacket or the bulletproof vest that he actually went and practiced throwing with that, because it wasn't natural for him, because he had it underneath that zip up, that windbreaker that he had on.
Cade Brown, 1-1 count.
You know who caught that ball? Former Rocky Todd Green.
Yep.
He was the catcher for that first pitch. Can you imagine doing that in that moment?
Next time we run into Greeny, got to ask him if he has what memorabilia he has from that time period.
Greeny's son's a catcher, pretty good prospect.
Well, if he's like his dad, and we have a little bit of a scouting report, he's probably got short levers and he has a ton of power,
Yes.
especially on the pull side.
His daughter is a phenomenal tennis player as well.
This ball in the air to left center field. Beck puts his glove out, says I got a beat on it, short of the track. He pulls it in, and Jake Cronenworth is out number 1 in the third against McCade Brown.
Well, that big scoreboard couldn't help that one. I mean, maybe that's what blocked that a little bit, because off the bat, thinking, okay, but then Jordan, when I watched him go back after it, so he just put his glove up like, shush it, people.
Yeah.
I got this.
I mean, as it gets nighttime and sun sets here, I know they've moved the fences in, but the ball does seem to die a little bit.
He went.
Freddie Fermin indeed did go, so it's 0-1. Padres have won 7 out of 9 this year against the Rockies. Took 2 of 3 at Coors Field last weekend.
Well, they're averaging 7.89 runs a game in those 9 games.
And it was aided considerably by the 21-0 ball game. But Mike Schilt's team at times has really struggled to score this year, but not against the Rockies. 1-1 on Fermin. Another acquisition at the trade deadline. Padres maybe 3 back of the Dodgers, but they're in a pretty good spot overall to make the postseason. That's on the corner. In that they're 5 games ahead of the competition in the wild card. The Mets lost again tonight in Philadelphia. This is line to right for a base hit. That's the first hit of the night.
But it's at 3.5 now above the Mets, and then 5 over San Francisco, and then 8.5.
Well, the Reds and the Giants are now a game and a half out of that final wild card. The Diamondbacks, even though they're a game beneath 500, are still in it, and conceivably, if the Cardinals went bonkers, they could be as well.
Yeah, the thing about the Padres, though, is the series.
That's what can happen.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of what occurred in that second inning in his last outing, Sully, where the misses were big. He hit a couple guys, and then, a wild pitch is a 1-out single. No big deal, but this is a huge miss.
Yeah, I mean, for him to yank the slider that far, that's 3.5 feet away from that outside corner where Hunter can't even make the play. It tells you he's trying to guide the ball over there instead of just throw it.
This is going to get out of play on the right side, not available for Tolia.
What I was going to say is there's one series they have left on the calendar that they cannot lose, and that is the Mets. That is their next series. If they were to go ahead and lose that series or get swept in that series, it makes their playoff push a lot harder.
And San Diego's schedule, we'll go over here in a second. 1-1 on El Nino. Good breaking ball. He's had both the curveball and the slider working tonight.
Well, and against Tatis Jr., too. He struck him out on a curveball at 82 miles an hour his first time up.
And another dandy. That's a hard curveball, power curveball, however you want to describe it. That's the 3rd strikeout for McCade.
Well, and got the same result as it did in the first inning. Got Fernando Tatis Jr. to swing through it. Thought he could get it, then right there, he's like, nope.
From the last 4 days, as Arise takes high ball 1. Last 3 days, to correct that. The Padres are 0 for 15 with runners in scoring position. And in the game they won a few nights ago against Cincinnati, they had only 2 hits with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, they won that game on a 10th inning sac fly from Tatis. Now, I was actually here yesterday. I flew in for you guys. I can say this, it looked like they were playing really tight once it passed the 5th inning, defensively and offensively. They made some miscues on defense I wasn't used to seeing.
You wonder if they feeling it.
Yeah, I think so, honestly.
You know what, though? And help me out here, guys, because you look around, you got, Tatis has been around, Arise, Machado, Laureano, Sheets, Merrill's still young, Cronenworth. You got a lot of veteran guys.
Yeah, but they got the focus on the wrong thing. Right now they're focusing on catching the Dodgers, right? That's not what you have to think of if you're trying to just push for the playoffs. You have to focus on one win at a time, not catching the Dodgers. And in doing that, it's making them play a little tighter.
Two and two on a rise.
I hope Tony Gwynn made that play. Gee,
Did that go in the television booth?
yeah, it certainly looked like it did.
Tony's on the TV side tonight for our buddy Mud with Don Orsillo. Rise covers that high fastball. 2-2.
Bob Scanlon slid into the radio booth. He's normally on their sideline. Former pitcher.
It's really odd seeing Scan in a polo shirt and not a fancy suit. He likes to dress well. On the sidelines, on the TV side normally. 3-2 on a rise.
What are we at now? 126, 127 plate appearances for a rise. No punch-outs versus the Rockies.
Something like that.
Three-two, and it's a base hit to right, and that will bring home the game's first run. Freddie Fermin. Now how much does that wild pitch hurt?
Hurts you to the tune of a run. Luis Arraez, a career .316 batting average. He gets a fastball that's up, and he just has that unique bat-to-ball skill. Right over the head of Tyler. That's Arraez's 55th RBI.
Pulled the fastball. Oh, it's 1-0, not 0-1. 1-0 on Manny Machado. Arraez and Altuve, the only active players with a career 300 average. We ran that graphic out in Los Angeles, and Freddie Freeman was on it, but Freddie has dipped to 299.
Well, the Padres going into the All-Star break were 28th when they scored first, 28th in the major leagues. They were 32-25, but since then they're 17-5.
Swing pitch count, and it goes in favor of Machado. 2-1 as the slider was outside. Pitch count's okay right now. If you can put this inning down in the next pitch or two. Arraez will run occasionally. He's got 10 bags.
Only been caught 3 times. Padres as a club have stolen 97 bases.
Swung on and missed. 2-2.
I could see him trying to go here in a 2-2.
He kind of gave a false break just a second ago. I don't know if that was a setup or not.
Not going. To third. Karros. To Tolia. That'll end the inning. So a single by Fermin. He ends up in scoring position after a wild pitch, and then the base hit by And the Rockies will return home for their final homestand of the year. Marlins and Angels will be in. Peck had a base hit his first time. Sliders off the plate, 1-1. In this day and age of high velocity and some of the pitchers that are all about stuff, Randy Vasquez just fills up the zone. I mean, he'll touch 95. It's not like he doesn't have a decent arm. But the ball's in play. He came in 117 plus innings with just 62 strikeouts. One of the lower strikeout rates in baseball.
But he's given up less hits than innings pitched. That's the other number I look at, too. So you could say, oh, he's not overpowering. He's just one of those guys that kind of frustrates you as a hitter. Like, you go back to the dugout after grounding out, or maybe you get popped you up, and you go, man, how'd he get me out?
You got yourself out.
I know, but that's
right?
that's how you feel.
Rockies have not scored since Hunter Goodman hit his 30th home run 2 nights ago in the 9th inning. And it took Kirby Yates' yard. Rockies with a hit in each inning as they bat with 1 out here in the 4th. They had 2 on with 2 outs in the first. Tovar struck out against Vasquez. They had the leadoff double in the second by Doyle.